We've seen controversy recently with crypto founders being debanked, but let's not forget there's a bigger issue here with millions of people worldwide still underbanked and excluded from the traditional financial system. Today I'm meeting up with Chris Anatalio to explore how Stellar can address these problems when we put in the speed and efficiency of the Stellar network and cross-border payments to the test. Thank you for taking the time to run this test with us. So the general idea is that I'm going to send a transaction from here in Cambridge, and we're going to see how long it takes from me sending it to you receiving it on your RPC node or receiving confirmation of it on an RPC node. Whereabouts are you based at the moment?
I'm based on the West Coast in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Let me see. Terminal. Cool.
There we go. Yeah, so if you run node receive.js.
Sure, what's it called? Oh, wait. There we go. Cool. And I run node receive.js. Okay.
So this is just going to monitor. Oh, that's not a good start.
Should I need to like npm install or something?
Yeah, let me just. So if you run node receive. Yeah, that's right. So we're listening for incoming payments. And then if I run node send, we should be sending you a payment. Brilliant. Okay, let me just copy that timestamp and it should tell us how quickly that went through. I think we've done it at a good time because that seemed particularly quick.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So the time that took to send it from here in Cambridge to Portland, Oregon was 2.534 seconds.
Okay, what are you doing? What are you using for the Unix timestamp math?
I am using my timestamp here from the sent to the received transaction, the timestamp that you got.
Okay, yeah. No, are you using like an online tool, or do you have like a command line tool to like easily do the date time math?
It's done. Yeah, it's done on the send program. The other.
Oh, okay.
Thing. So I've run that on mine. I'm recording both screens. Rough speed of payment was 7 million miles an hour, which is 316 times faster than a SpaceX Starship.
That's a very cool, I guess, way of expressing the speed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like, obviously it's a global decentralized network, so it should be the same for any account anywhere. But it's interesting to see just how snappy them RPC nodes are.
Yeah, should we do like a series of tests and do like an average, or?
Yes, we should be able to run it again straight away. If you leave yours running, I think it should come up with another transaction.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Just put that timestamp in here, 17332555984991. So a little bit slower, that one, 2.984. So it's still really, really fast. And I was Googling earlier, I mean, to send a Swift payment takes 1 to 5 business days. So even with my coding, it's pretty competitive for that.
Oh yeah, no, it's like orders and orders of magnitude difference, right?
So let's go through the code base quickly. We've imported a Stellar SDK here. We're running this asynchronous command or function, and we are actually keeping a secret key inside the script. This is obviously something you should not do in production. You can either use an environmental variable, or you can actually link it up to something more secure. You can be using a hot wallet here because you're delivering the funds programmatically, and that's always inherently insecure. But there are better ways of doing it than just hard coding the secret key in the text file here and then sharing it on a YouTube video. Obviously, this is for testnet. There's not real funds being used. We're then creating a key pair from this secret key. Then they're deriving a public key from the secret key. We've also got a receiver public key here. So this is the account that we're going to send funds to. We're using the Horizon testnet server, and we are going to load the account, the source public key. We're going to set a fee. This is like a gas fee or a transaction fee. And then we're going to get the timestamp before we send the transaction. So this is what we're going to use to calculate the speed of the transaction. We log that timestamp, and then we go ahead and start building the transaction using the Stellar SDK transaction builder. We're passing in the fee and the network passphrase, and then we're adding an operation. We're setting a destination and the asset here, and the amount as 1 XLM. We're sending the native asset. Then we're building, signing, and submitting that transaction to the network of RPC nodes. Once that's sent, we'll get a link to a Block Explorer transaction, and we can work out the time taken locally, and then we can enter the timestamp from the receive file. So Chris is going to run the receive script, which we're going to go through in a minute, and that's going to provide another timestamp as to when he receives the transaction. We can then work out the distance from Cambridge to Portland and the time in hours, the speed, and we can work that out relative to a SpaceX Starship. There's a little bit of eye candy and some error catching, just in case anything goes wrong. I did code this myself, but I'm sure it will all be fine. Let's go through the receive file now. Again, we're importing the Stellar SDK. We've got that same receiver public key. We're using the Horizon testnet again. And all we're doing is we've got this handle payment function, which is just gonna basically set a date or a timestamp and then output some information from the payment. We're then using server.payments. The server is the RPC node or the Horizon testnet node. And then for account, receive public key. Got cursor now. So from the time when the script is run, we're going to stream all messages or events coming into that account. Any messages that do come through are passed through to the handle payment, which goes back to this function here, and that's outputted to the console. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, so I've been using Xbull and Freighter wallets.
Okay. Sure.
I was wondering what wallets you use and what you'd recommend other people use for kind of sending XLM and stable coins around between users.
Yeah, no, definitely Freighter is the canonical Crow plugin wallet. And then Xbull, yeah, Xbull is definitely a big player too. On mobile, I use Lobster. And then in Latin America, some of the big wallets are Decaf and Beans. Beans is actually based in the EU, actually, I think. But no, Expo is great, Freighter's great, Lobster, Decaf, Beans. Have you heard of Stellar Light?
No, I haven't used that yet. What's that?
So it's basically here. Let me pull it. I guess a directory or like an index of different types of D apps. So it's like give me every DEX in the Stellar ecosystem, but then they also have a drop down for wallets, right?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So if you go in there, it's like all the big wallets. Lobster, Beans, Decaf should be on here, but I guess they're not. Albedo is a very simple wallet. It's kind of like almost like a embedded wallet. It's just like kind of like a browser pop-up.
Yeah.
Vibrant's actually part of Stellar. It's an Argentinian-based wallet, and then we have hardware wallet integrations as well.
Are there on-off ramps in here? That's more the Anchors protocol, isn't it? That'd be.
Let me see. You're looking at Stellar Light. Sorry, what are you looking at exactly?
So I was kind of wondering, to get money on and off, in and out of crypto, going from like local currencies to either XLM or USDC stable coins or whatever other digital asset someone's looking to get access to. Would the Anchor protocol, the Anchor directory here, so you can go on.
There's actually an Anchor protocol, but that's actually separate from what we refer to as our Anchor network. So we refer to our on and off ramp ecosystem as an Anchor network, but it's not like an actual protocol in and of itself.
And one of the big ones is MoneyGram. Obviously, you guys got a massive partnership with them, and that just enables anyone to go into any MoneyGram and basically deposit whatever local currency they want, or any currency really, and kind of get that onboarded straight away into their Stellar wallet.
Yeah. So like the really big use case is, for instance, people in Latin America, they're facing a lot of inflation. So they're able to hold their savings in stablecoin like USDC, and then they're able to withdraw their local currency in fiat cash against those stablecoin holdings.
All right, Chris, that was all it was, basically. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. No, definitely. Please reach out for more collaborations. This is great.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your time.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Take care. Bye-bye. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's gone some way to showcasing the speed and efficiency of the Stellar network for cross-border payments and the real-world impact that that's having. If you want to learn more, the code is all open source on GitHub and there's links to some more developer documentation for building on Stellar in the description. Thank you for watching.